Hello, my darlings, and welcome back to Marion Tarot. I hope you're doing all right. This is going to be your week ahead reading for the week commencing the 20th of October until the 26th of October. It's transition week. It's transition week from Libra into Scorpio. And yeah, things are about to get intense, folks. So first of all, we have got the new moon in Libra in the 21st of October. So that'll be nice. That'll bring a sense of balance to things. It'll be led by Venus because Venus rules Libra. So wherever Libra shows up in your chart, do have a look and see where Venus shows up as well, and see the relationship between those two placements. And new moons, we know what new moons are about. New moons are about planting seeds, letting things take shape. It's a time to just decide, I'm starting something, and it doesn't need to be a huge thing. Right, it's like, I think there's sometimes people think, oh well, it has to be a huge all-encompassing thing, but it doesn't really. It could be simply you make a decision to, I don't know, take a walk in the morning, not even every morning, every second morning, every third morning, twice a week, you decide to just go for a walk for the sake of just going for a walk. You don't have to go with any purpose. You can just go a wee wander if that's possible for you. So with being in Libra, it could be, there's an abundance of new thought. There's a desire for balance and bringing everything back to you. That's what I'm just intuitively picking up. Whereby you can have that bit of self-care. So you can, it's like, it's not as intense as when the moon is maybe in, say for instance, a fire sign. It's not as intense as that. Air moons are just by their very nature, they're lighter. They tend to be lighter. And we have an opportunity under this new moon just to feel a sense of balance. Crave for balance. Maybe that's what you've been craving for. You maybe been pushing yourself too far in one direction, and it's time for you to pull the another direction, and just to find that equilibrium, and to find that sense of justice. Remember, in the tarot, Libra is represented by a justice card. Excuse me. So, just these various different things that are coming through, so just think to yourself that. Oh, excuse me. Oh, and I don't edit, so I'm sorry for the coughing. Right, so this week, because it is transition week and it's transition from Libra into Scorpio, the sun is moving signs. I decided, right, okay, so Scorpio season means we can get the darker cards out. We can get the oh my god cards, and I seem to have an abundance of the oh my god cards or the oh my god decks. But this is one of my favourite decks, right? And it's the Santa Maria, or the Santa Murti Book of the Dead, and it's by Fabio Lustrani. And this deck, mass market by Lascaro Bale. And this deck actually contains my all-time favourite tower card. Now, is it even possible to have a favourite tower card? Apparently it is, because I have one. And I love the art. I love the artwork in this deck. It's creepy, but it's no creepy. There's an amusement to it. There's a kind of humour to it. And I'm trying to remember the name of Fabio Lustrani's other deck, that the Night Sun Tarot. There is a lot of readers out there who absolutely adore that deck. Me personally, no a fan, no so much. But that's the wonderful thing about tarot, you know, we have so many different decks for different people and different tastes. So let's get stuck into this week. What have we got coming ahead? What have we got to look forward to? What do we need to be aware of for this week coming up? What do the cards want to tell us? And how are you feeling? I mean, after the eclipse season, we're just kind of, again, finding that equilibrium. So let's see, what have we got going on? Right, let's see. Okay, you know that way, like, anybody that's watching this who actually reads cards, right, either for yourself or other people, you know that way when you're shuffling, or even before you shuffle, you just get that sense that a certain card is going to come out, and it's almost like a kind of, oh right, okay then. And it's like, did you pull that out of the card, out of the deck energetically, or did it just actually want to come and speak? Anyway, we've got one of these situations, and it was a moon card. And yeah, okay, you could argue and say, oh well, it's because it's a new moon this week, Marion, and that's how you were thinking about the moon card. No, I wasn't. Anyway. At the bottom of the deck, we have got the Seven of Wands. Okay, so there we go. Seven of Wands is showing up for us this week, and it feels like, you know, it's so reminiscent of like autumn. It's autumn, fall in the northern hemisphere here, but it's that like seasonal change. You know, the leaves are falling down. I'm looking outside my window, and I'm very blessed that in my street, you know, there's I can see trees, quite a lot of trees. And they're losing the leaves, you know, and the leaves are changing colour, and it's like, I've been away last weekend and just seen the change, you know, it's, and then like the birds, etc. and everything, you know, just seeing the real changes of the seasons. And I think that's what that card is really more coming out to say. These changes in seasons, and you having to defend yourself for the changes that you're making, because sometimes if you decide to do something, not everybody's comfortable with it. You know, if you decide to go down a different path, people can be a bit like, oh, why are you doing that? You know, and it can be a bit uncomfortable. But I feel like the underlying energy for the reading this week is that energy where you're just looking for an acknowledgement. That's the thing, right? So if you're looking for an acknowledgement and somebody to tell you, oh, you're doing the right thing, I'm not going to say that to you, right? But you can take that card as an acknowledgement, you know, like to pay attention and think to yourself, right, okay, I'm going to do this, and I'm going to try to do this, okay? Right, so the cards proper we have got is a big week. It really is. We have got a really interesting week coming up. We have got the Hanged Man. We have got the King of Pentacles, which we love to see. And we have got the Moon, as I said. Now, where are these cards showing up for you? Let's see, first of all, you know, we have got that, and it's really interesting because I very rarely pull the Hanged Man. So, collectively, what is it we need to look at from a different point of view? Now, I know there is a huge amount of division going on in the wider world, and it could just be in your general, you know, world round about you. The people that you could have differing opinions, there's so much division going on. But what I think that, you know, how do we combat the division? It's like we try our best to look at things from a different point of view. We might not agree with the different point of view, but if we can engage, if we can try to engage in conversation, you know, even just an acknowledgement to a neighbour or something, you know, and it's like somebody who does not agree with you, you know, and it doesn't even need to be extremes. You know, it doesn't need to be like, oh, well, I believe in this and you're wrong, and no, I believe in this and you're wrong. It doesn't even need to be that extreme, you know. It can just be like a simple difference of opinion. And it's like, let that person have a different opinion, you know. You know, that, and then ask yourself, does that actually affect my life, right? Does that person having that particular opinion like upset my life? Does it have an effect in my life? You know, your own personal life. Does it? If it doesn't, then why are you arguing about it? Honestly, you know. And it's like, let people dislike you. That's another thing. It came through. Allow people to dislike you, because you're not for everybody, and everybody isn't for you, and that's okay. And it's far more authentic to be like that than to try and like everybody, to try and get everybody to like you. I mean, I was in a situation last week, and there was people who were openly hostile towards me, and I was just like, meh. You know, it's like, you do you. It really doesn't bother me, you know, and that's the thing. It's like, and there is some people obviously who are a lot more sensitive, and that would bother them, you know. And I'm really sorry if you're in that situation. Don't know why I'm getting into this tangent, but it's a Hanged Man, so I'll just go with it. You know, and that's the thing, you know. If there is other people who decide they don't like you, well, whatever, you know. No, everybody's got amazing taste. No, everybody can see how great you are, and that's okay. And invariably, if they don't like you, you're most likely highlighting something in their shadow. That's the thing, right? It's like when somebody doesn't like you, it's more than likely that you are triggering something in their shadow that they don't actually like about themselves. Or they wish they could be like you in a particular way. You know, they could behave like you, they could speak like you, they could know the people that you know, have a relationship with people that you have a relationship with, and they're trying hard, you know. It could just be that people are social climbers, you know, and they just feel the need to be arseholes, basically. Do you know what I mean? So, but in saying that, try to look at things from a different perspective, right? Don't assume that if somebody clearly dislikes you, it's something that you've done, because it isn't. It's a them problem, it's not a me problem, you know. And that took me a long, long time to come to terms with, so that's why I'm passing on this wisdom, if you like, to anybody watching. And I feel like I'm getting this real sense that it's really important that I share this. For whatever reason, you know, it's really important that somebody watching this hears that. So I don't mind putting myself on the vulnerability step, shall we say. Okay, my loves. So, King of Pentacles, how does the King of Pentacles show up with this Hanged Man? It shows up in that you have got mastery over your possessions, over your physical self. Okay, so it's like, and if you feel that you don't have mastery over that, then how can you look at that from a different perspective? Okay, how is it you can take that time out? You need to you don't need to, but you could reassess whatever is going on with you, and that ultimately will help you see things in a better light. Okay, and plus he's got a treasure chest, right? So if this is to do with your business, your physical wealth, then it may well be that by just sitting in the energy of taking time, you know, the Hanged Man, take time out and sit in the energy of the King of Pentacles. Have a conversation with him. You know, it's like if you're feeling that, you know, if you're feeling that they kind of pinch financially, how can you, you know, make your income work better for you? How can you generate an income? Sometimes it just takes that conversation with somebody, you know. And oftentimes when the King of Pentacles shows up, it's kind of a like, right, go and have a conversation with either a financial advisor or an accountant, or like a business leader, a thought leader, somebody who you really admire, who you think, oh, actually, that's a really good person that I could, you know, I could learn something from. So somebody that's at the top of their game. The moon showing up to complement the cards. Again, with this particular moon card, you know, it's like you've got this woman and she's gazing into a pond, and what she sees is a reflection, is a skeleton. She sees herself skeletal. And you've got that crescent moon. So what I feel like with this, what this showing up is, not everything that is visible is necessarily real. Okay, so are you working with people who have got delusions of grandeur? That's just came into my head there, you know. Is there somebody or someone or something that is basically just, it feels very much like they're just kind of they're just appearing, you know, and they've got kind of entitled energies, they've got an entitled presence, and they're putting that out there, but it's very much based in insecurity. That's something, again, I know we talked about the shadow earlier on in the reading, but it's like the moon highlights only what it shines on, and everything else is in the dark. You know, so don't, and it's like, you know, sometimes when I pull the moon card, I hear that line for a Meatloaf song. It's like, objects in the rear view mirror may appear closer than they are, and it's like that kind of a like illusionary energy that's coming through. So don't necessarily believe everything you see or hear this week. There could be people who are not as not as genuine as what they appear, shall we say. So it's a bit of a mixed bag this week. You know, we've got I would say we've got a bit of a warning this week, and I'm going to say this to you, and then no doubt something will happen in my life, and I'll be like, oh, I talked about that in the Sunday reading, didn't I? But in all seriousness, you know, it could just be something that you're not quite familiar with, and there's something waiting in the wings. It doesn't need to be a bad thing, you know. There's something unexpected coming to happen, and it could may well be quite profitable, quite a lucrative week. Okay, my love. So that's me. I will quit wittering on, because I'm at nearly 20 minutes this week. What's that all about? And I've not even pulled an oracle card. So if you follow along on Instagram, you will have seen a post from Terry and myself that there is big news coming this week with regards to the Grief Journey Oracle. So please do follow us. It is at Terry Cottrell Art and at Marion K Tarot on Instagram. I will try and remember to post something here. But you know what I'm like. I'm a nightmare. So if you follow me on Instagram. Right, so can we get a card for this week, please? Okay. So we have got friendship, right? I love all the cards, right? But there's some cards that are really special. So friendship, what's it showing up in this week? So it's like, have a look out for your friends, okay? Make sure they're okay. Just check in with them. You know, just say, hey, you alright? You know, do you want to have a wee blather? Do you want to have a wee chat? Have you got 10 minutes to have a chat? And just check in with each other and make sure you are okay. Right? Make sure it's your make sure your friends are in a good place. Right? And take care of each other. Okay, my darlings? Yous have a wonderful week. Enjoy the new moon. Enjoy Scorpio season and the start of it. I know I will. And I will speak to you soon. Okay? Lots of love. Bye.